All right. So this is Terravon here with Hindrosa, Dama, Grinnin, and Vixen. Run Starstone Barrows. It's a really fun dungeon. Amazing music. So when we're not making noise. There's a lot of weird mechanics and interesting stuff going on in this, so we decided to make a video so that everybody can see it, be able to learn from our trials and errors and stuff. All right, you ready, guys?
Ready?
Hell yeah!
Good to go.
All right, let's go.
Don't forget to coat up and eat up.
Yep. So first pull here is pretty much trash mobs. We got one guy that does that big jump that you just saw and smashes down with his javelin. But nothing real super special here. Kind of tank and spank kind of situation. Jay, I know you love the boing sound, so yeah, I just left it in for you. You know what's that guy? Good to go. One thing you'll notice as we go through these fights is that PS will often wait a few seconds after the pull, let the tank establish a good amount of threat so that we don't end up pulling mobs off the tank. Now, of course, it's going to happen occasionally, especially in some of the longer, more dramatic fights with lots of crazy. Most part, we'll be able to hold on to everything.
You guys go ahead and hit the ones in the back vector for me. Thank you.
See from this that the healers, people with life staves, are often other people, making sure that we're able to shoot through them for passive. Important. Gama back there just swung around behind Tristan.
You guys all right?
Yeah, that guy just didn't want to die.
All right.
This guy does not like you, Grinnin.
He does not, does he? Oh. Tickle me with that spear.
I'm gonna stand next to Dama and you get.
took him down there to play with Dixon.
Goofy fuck.
What did he do?
You.
Oh, I mean, you're not wrong.
Blocking up.
You want to explain over there, Tara?
Yeah, so after your first few trash mob pulls, you're going to come to an area with a leak. Nope, right over here. If you want to get it, you have to time this. Try to crawl under it because it gets too low. Die. Trust me. No. This one over here, however, you have to crawl under. Get down on our belly. Give her a little crawl. Don't stand up too soon or you will get an involuntary haircut. On to this trash.
Anybody pull those in the back for me?
Yep, got it.
Thank you.
And so far, so good. Easy peasy. Now, when you watch these gates, they're going to go up and down. Some of them pause, some of them don't. Some of them go fast, some of them slow. Watch the timing. Most of them, or I should say most, a lot of them will do a thing where they do 3 sort of up, down in rapid succession. Then they'll go up really slow, pause, and then come down really slow. That's going to lead you to this particular batch of hell. The easiest way to get through this guy, once the Yahoo's finish finding the rocks over there, it's to jump down onto this platform on the left. From there, we come down the little ramp and we have to time this guy. Now we can go under it here, which is going to make it a little... Make sure you don't fall off the edge because you fall into a... Down, go back up, and I'm moving.
Oh.
Oops.
Want me to get a haircut?
It was me.
Yeah.
Oh, I fell into
Looks
oblivion.
Alright.
Launch me
So-
forward.
Now, when these, as you can see, these are pretty dangerous. When these things hit you, the worst thing you can do is get a res, because they're just going to kill you again. When you stand up, you'll stand right back up into it. So when you die, you die. Back to the last spawn point. Get yourself re- Now these you can walk under. I feel a lot safer if I crouch under them. Just I don't want to get a haircut. Go along this little ledge to the side. Please just go along the wedges. Don't try to do anything fancy. Get frustrated. And then once we're here, we time this last gate out. It's going to do 3 quick.
Oh, he got me.
Rosa.
But I'm
it's
good
gonna do
enough.
3 quick and 1 slow. And do a revive. And you'll actually get him. And oh, I got him in just at the right time. He's oh no, he still died. And so did Dixon.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. The lasers are not fun times in Happy Land. Just be really, really super careful when you're going through those. Don't wipe your group, because that would be...
They're so much fun.
as many times as we've had successful through there.
Right.
This time.
Yep.
It's like, you know what?
Right. It's like, no. In these rooms, try not to stand with your back to the lasers because the skeletons do
Push me off, you
knockbacks.
son of a bitch.
Stop! I don't know what you're talking about.
And these guys are a mess. Yeah, the skeletons. Oh my lord!
Oh my goodness. It's like trying to go into lasers with my brother's kids or something.
Right? So granted on that one, wait till it goes up slow, and then it gives you like 10 seconds to walk under it.
Oh dear lord.
The skeletons and things will try to knock you back into the lasers, rather intentionally. They will try to position themselves so that when they shoot you with their arrows with knockback, fly backwards into lasers. Get your back to a laser, they'll do a charge on you, like a little shoulder rush thing, and knock you back into the lasers. So just don't put your back to the lasers. Always stay away from them.
Levity, it's a good thing.
Let's see if our man Grinnin can make it this time.
You'll have to excuse him, he's just a little bit old.
Oh boy.
Alternatively, if we really struggle bus with it, you could push to the next section and that'll put the stairs up.
Yeah, so that is true. Wait, let it do its 3 fast ones, Grinnin. Then just, it goes up
Wait
slow.
for it to come up. There you
Now
go.
go.
Now go.
Got it. All right. Now this section here, you're gonna have to jump across, land on that little platform, and then you have to do this again over here. Now there's 2 ways to do it. There's the stone way and the wood way. I like the stone way because it just feels like an easier jump. It doesn't give me that. Now we're done with the craziness that is the laser room. We jump over here and get up on this platform and gain protection. Uses your Azoth staff. Nice. We'll pass through.
You want to tell me about
when
those stairs behind you?
Yeah, I'll show
Example.
them the stairs real quick. So when you activate that, stairs come out. So a person can come and kind of scooch over and right on those stairs and come up if they die. When you're passing through the lasers with the protection, just pause and let everybody go through. Try to walk it. The person with the little Azoth staff moves slower, and people end up dead. When you touch this thing, it goes away. If it doesn't go away, just hit tab, open your inventory, and it'll go away. Don't forget the chest. To gather that thing, and thus endeth the trash mobs section. We've got some trash back here, but this guy, Halloween, a little tougher. He does a leap attack with that javelin. He'll jump back, he'll start throwing it, and then he'll leap back in, do a knockback, and face up. When you're ready. No special mechanics on this fight, really. Just tank and spank and, watch. some AoE in there to give the mobs some trouble. Watch the tank get knocked around a little bit. Now you'll see Iowane, he's about to do his jump here in a second. Oh, a few of those javelins. There he goes. Boom. Which, let's face it, that looks pretty cool.
Tanks, make sure you always go back to your healer's sacred ground.
Yes. Yeah, when the healers lay down that sacred ground, be in it, because a lot of healers have boosts on their sacred ground. Or boosts that make healing a tank in sacred ground do a whole lot more. If you have the Barchamedes quest, more bones for Barchamedes, this will be your first. Don't have it. Done messed up because you should have gotten it before you came in here.
Did the dog just bark on cue?
It did pretty much.
Good job, Grinning.
Like I'm ready for my close up. More trash mobs. Nothing spectacular here. These archers up at the top of the stairs are kind of annoying. So generally we'll try and focus them as much as we can. Do the get the pass-through healing going on Hindrosa there. Make sure he stays nice full bar health.
As well as the heavy attack fortify. So we've spec'd into that. That's a passive that every time we do a heavy attack, it gives us fortify stacks.
That's true. In fact, I'll do that right now. Just you. Oop, there goes the fortify. So yeah, every time I land a heavy attack, I get a 3-second fortify. Very nice. Here we've got Irene. Again, nothing really special. Kind of a tank. Hindrosa, go for it.
You pulled those ones over to me, Dumma.
They're coming around the corner.
Thank you.
They're coming around the corner when they come. Now that the ads are gone, we just focus the boss. Into that music.
Great music.
Insane music.
Talk
yeah,
about those archers.
Yep. So these are your basic trash mobs. Got a couple of archers. Steps. And really annoying. They're gonna try and stay up there and just drop arrows down. Best to get rid of them. They're a pain in the butt. So we're gonna let Hendrosa tank these guys. We'll have some DPS on them. We're gonna be looking a lot at the Starstone.
Yeah, this fight is particularly nasty for casters because of his 3 spear chuckers and 2 archers.
Yep. It's their range really sucks for casters. So whenever you're ready, Hendrosa.
Here we go.
I'm gonna move up here. Oh, they came down. Party favors for them.
And don't worry about the puddle or the electricity puddle that's on the ground. As long as your healers have your heal down there, you can deal with it.
Those blue orbs, blue glowy things that they cast, they do suck a little bit when you hit, but they're nothing can't survive. Again, as long as you got good heals, right? You got good heals coming in.
We got this right over here.
Head when you dropped it. Yep. That music. I'm just gonna say it. Ramin Djawadi is a freaking genius.
Definitely bust out some bangers.
Here's a perfect example of the lasers. Do not stand with your back to the laser walls. Get that all possible. They will shove you right into them without hesitation. I got you, man. Alright, then.
I just go all the way in there, Drozen.
Good job.
Yep, push in.
Push all the way in.
Just a quick word to the wise. We're okay with pulling a full room like that because we have very, very strong heal in this group. If you don't have really strong heals, try to separate some of these. Do mini pulls, try and pull singles, doubles, possibly triples. If you don't have really strong heals, don't pull these full like we're doing right now.
Tara, you want to talk a little bit about the sacred ground for you guys on it's just not about the tank needing heals, it does more for you guys too?
Yeah, so I did kind of mention that a little bit, Ding 39. The sacred ground does stuff for us. One of the things it does for me in particular is it increases my healing, right? So if the tank is standing in sacred ground, when I throw a heal, they get more healing. And there's other benefits to it as well, obviously. So, you know, tanks, everybody, if there's sacred ground down, get in it. Now I'm going to show you here. I'm about to hit Hindrosa with it didn't give a number, but I'll bet you that was around,
huge.
It's around 3,500. And that's a big part of that is because he was standing within sacred ground, right? So yeah, standing inside the sacred ground is really going to make life easier for your healers, and that's what you want to do. You want to make life as easy as possible. This goes for DPS as well, and this is something that I've talked about a few times before. Some people get a little question it a little bit, but DPS, you should be carrying tons and tons of potions, right? You cannot rely on healers to heal you as DPS because their job is to keep the tank alive. And if they have to heal everybody else, they're going to run themselves out of mana. And that's not good, right? So with the tank standing inside sacred ground like he is, that's going to help get bigger heals. It's obviously a heal over time. Just makes life easier on the healers. Something you'll notice from time to time while we're in here as well is the ice block, like Grinnin just did. I have it, Dama has it, Grinnin has it, Nixon has it, and we use that to very quickly build mana for low. Obviously, it's super important that we have a good load of mana, and if you ice block, you will rebuild all your mana in few seconds. You be as empty as can be, and you'll get it all back in a few seconds. In fact, I'm going to show you. Throw a couple more big heals here real quick in between the fight, guys, just to keep my mana. And show them what I'm talking about.
Food's down.
Thanks, Doma.
So now you see how fast my mana is rebuilding? A few seconds, I'm at a full load of mana. If you have the ice gauntlet, get that into. Alright, these guys, Lemos and Erebus. Erebus, we are going to burn. We're going to burn him as quickly as possible. He raises dead. So
Other
he'll
guy.
raise his arms up. Yeah, there you go. He'll
Erebus.
raise his arms up and summon a bunch of dead, and he'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You get overwhelmed. So you've got to focus Erebus down. Limos, I don't know what circumstance causes it to do it, but we have seen him split into two. So he like copies himself. I don't know if he'll do it during this fight, but he's done it before. So I think we're good. Let's go ahead and kill Erebus. Second for Rosa to grab a good amount of aggro. You see that guy kind of walk behind me? I let him go because I need to be working on Erebus. I don't have time to deal with him. I am going to take out this archer. And right back on Erebus. Limos just killed my Ice Pylon. Erebus is dead. A couple of seconds, I'll Ice Pylon again. Good thing is we don't have to worry about
Blocking.
ads anymore. Oh. And down goes Limos. Another 2 bones from this fight. That completes the more bones for Barkimedes quest. He only asked for 3 bones out of here. Done. That quest pays a good amount of XP. This is the Shattered Obelisk. Looking up so they can see the suspended animation floated tower.
I'm gonna get that archer at the top for me.
Working.
Thank you.
Coming, he's coming. Get an Ice Pylon on him too.
You definitely don't want to push too far into this room because of the next fight.
Yeah, if you push too far in and you accidentally pull that boss, it's a wipe. Just go ahead and let it happen. Don't waste the time trying to get out of it. This boss here, Mr. Electos the Relentless, he will also spawn ads. He will do it regularly. Those ads get bigger and bigger, and they hit really, really hard when they're big. He also lays those little electrified circles on the ground and shoots the glowing blue orbs. So your best bet, get the tank in there, tanking him, range DPS spread out so that you can more easily dodge those orbs. If you've got somebody who's strictly melee DPS, obviously they have no choice but to be the boss, but all your ranged people need to be back and spread out so they can dodge those orbs because they freaking hurt.
For me, as a sword and shield user, I like to use the Defiant stance to pull everybody at once, and then I keep Shield Rush up as a secondary when he spawns the ads because of that long wait time on the Defiance, so that way you can kind of control the fight better.
Right. Now, if you do pull ads, do your best to run them back to the tank so the tank can pick them up. Doesn't really do you any good to run around like a chicken with your head cut off unless for some reason you can't get to the tank. And get those mobs to the tank and let them pick them up. I think we're okay. Yeah, see that big, huge ad? Bad. There's the glowing blue ball things. Brad's coming up. So those balls not only hurt, but they also slow you. So, and that little shockwave he does locks you in place. Not fun. Another skill that's really important for healers, by the way, is you can get gear or skills that boost your cooldowns with every light or heavy attack. Do it. It's huge.
Right now, Defiance is down, and I'll just use that shield rush right there, and it'll grab them all, pull them right into me. Even if they go out a little bit.
Right, and with him being at such a low percentage, we're basically just going to nuke right now, get him out of here, send him on his way to happy holiday, and that's it. Fight good night. Don't take this fight for granted. We have almost wiped on this fight, and this is basically a mini boss with some trash. Don't take it for granted. Be careful.
Make sure, too, on this right-hand side rock, there's a note you guys can grab.
And then a happy chest. Team Syndrosa must have cleaned out his inventory a little bit when ready to come in here. That's the salvage.
Hey, do you need a repair, Hendrosa?
No, I'm good.
You good? You get that repair all button?
You like that?
I just finally got the staffer in here.
Nice.
Nice.
Only it had a socket.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a bubble on you, Hendrosa, and then see if I can't do something about those others. Bring this other idiot over to you.
And for your tank, don't be afraid if those archers, if your folks call out, hey, I got an ad on me, roll out, do a quick 3-hit combo, and then roll right back into your sacred ground.
Yeah, and healers, if your tank leaves the bubble, don't waste it. Go stand in it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Also, healers, like if you're a secondary healer, off healer, whatever, don't expect another healer to heal you in a big nasty fight. You should have pots. Drink them. Got to take as much pressure off the healers as you can.
And magic DPS, you may notice that we're just most often using ice. the Ice Gauntlet instead of the Fire Staff, that's because these mobs are resistant, most of them that we've seen in here, to the Fire Staff.
Correct.
You guys noticed that once we went through those lasers, we're going back the way we came, and Terrafon will explain why.
Yeah, so
You
there's a
definitely-
little... Go ahead, Dixon.
I'm gonna say you definitely don't want to drop your bubble immediately after you go through there. Otherwise, you'll be in a situation you don't want to be in.
Right.
Keep it till you get up here, and then back down to the other side.
Yep. So I'm disconnecting this power lock here, which shuts down power to a lot of the lasers. It's gonna make our going a lot easier. If we don't do that, I mean, we can still make it through most places, but there are some places where there are some impassable lasers. Don't turn that thing off. It's also, if I'm not mistaken, gives us sort of access to a shortcut. Or not so much a shortcut, but it keeps us from having to loop back around at one. Do some points real quick, guys.
Sure. Just as a heads up, so if you drop that laser protector, once you go through those lasers, you're going to have to run all the way back around to get back to the beginning where you grabbed it to be able to go through the second set of lasers.
Yep. It's going to take a long time, and it's a pain in the butt. So Sangarian here. That's how his name is said. Again, this seems like just a kind of a tank and spank fight. There are some ads over here on the side. He has a pretty nasty cleave attack, and he does this like bull rush hindro. So does that stun you when he does like the shoulder rush?
It doesn't really stun me, it just kind of pushes me.
Okay, so stay away from any edges, ledges, etc. And definitely don't bring them all the way back here to the lasers, because they'll push you in. Try and tank them up there, basically where they're at now. And hindros it. You know. Another quick tip for healers that are using an ice gauntlet: put an amber gem in there. Converts a percentage of your damage to nature, which scales off focus. So I've got a gem in my ice gauntlet that scales or does 30%, and that does scale to focus. So when I put those ice pylons down, does a lot more damage than it would if I was not using them, because I have no int bump at all. Now, from that chest back there, we all got these sitting keys. We want to go up here and obelisk key. We want to go up here and bless these obelisk keys. I recommend everybody do it, just in case something glitches, bugs, whatever, and it disappears from someone's inventory. Sorry. Trash mob, tank and spank, take 98.
Thanks, Duma.
Now, you'll notice that Duma went to the back and pulled other mobs that were in the back there. Again, if you don't have really, really solid heals, probably not a good idea to do that. You're going to want to keep the number of mobs you have to face to a minimum.
Nice job, guys.
Thanks, Josie.
You're welcome, Dixon.
You'll notice we have doubled back here. Got you. There's bad guys. Once again, everybody goes around the corner, and I'm the one that face pulls them.
We like to do that from terrifying time to time.
I reckon.
I drank my invisibility potion.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Wrong game.
I'm jelly. I want invisibility potion.
Harry, you got the door on the next part.
Yeah. One other thing I'm gonna say.
Give it the second group.
Yeah, pull them. Make it interesting. I wanna just kind of point out. Notice how calm we are, right? That in a lot of dungeon runs, Empress can run. People get frustrated when they die or they don't think. It doesn't do anybody any good, right? Keep calm, head about you. Everybody work together, cooperate, and you're going to get things done a lot better.
Thanks, Dixon. Thanks, Dummer.
I could absolutely just come in here and listen to this music. Like, freaking insane.
Tanks, for a lot of this too, don't feel like you have to always, be hitting with your sword. Like, I'm usually about 50-50. I'll do about sword play, and about 50 of it will be the shield. Let the other guys do the DPS. All you got to do is hold the hate.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The tank's job, generally speaking, has nothing to do with DPS. Tank is supposed to stand there and give the mobs something to hit, and everything in their power to hold those mobs so they don't attack the rest of them. So yeah, let your DPS handle your business. After this fight, I got to do an ice gauntlet point, if you guys wouldn't mind waiting for a moment.
Yep.
And I'm going to edit this part out of the video, folks, so when you see the little fade or whatever, you know what happened. Do I want to go with pylon dodge, you reckon, there, Dixon?
Yeah, I've been doing it. You've been dodging anyway with your heals, so it might as well.
Done and done.
The only thing is, it's when you're full, stamp, if I remember correctly.
It is, sir. All
So
right.
drop it, dodge.
Yep. Actually, that was quick enough that I'm just going to leave it in.
All right.
Which, by the way, is the same thing I said to Indros' bomb last year.
Got him.
Oh,
You've been wondering why she's been so famous lately.
Alright, so the obelisk key, not really anything special, but we figured we'd show it to you. Come up here, mash the E button, and the big ugly doors open, revealing another spawn point. And the Crypt of the Regent. Now this is where things are about to get ugly. This is the boss.
Oh, I thought you got another mirror.
No, I keep those as far away from me as possible. Terrifying. So this boss is a 2-phase fight. The first phase is really, really easy as long as you keep your head and make sure you don't get overwhelmed with ads. Guy's gonna stand pretty much in the middle, tank and spank. He's gonna throw these bones every once in a while that act as spawns, and mobs are gonna spawn from those bones. If you get a bunch of those mobs on you, run them to the tank. Let the tank pull them off you. He dies pretty fast in round 1. In round 2, he revives himself and starts this jumping thing that he does. He'll launch himself in the air, come down on the ground, and he will intentionally target players. If he hits you, it hurts a lot. It'll knock you around, it'll stun you, it'll interrupt. Last night I was playing around with the idea of whenever he lands, getting as close as possible to where he landed, so he doesn't really jump to the same place twice. After 5 of those, he'll jump back to the center, kind of body slam the tank, and then you go back into tank and spank. DPS, heals, etc. need to stay spread out, fanned out around the place, because if you guys are all bunched up in one spot, he's going to jump right on top of you, and he's going to take out all your DPS and heals in one shot. So let's not do that. You have an ice gauntlet. You can also ice block when he starts his little jumpy thing, and it'll often get you most of the way through that little mini phase. Hindrosa, any special tips for tanks that'll be running this?
Again, with you don't have to control every single ad. All the other players can. Ads are going to be scattered all over the place. What you want to do is just kind of position yourself or let your folks know where you're going to be, which is pretty good, staying in the center so they can find you. As they're running by, those ads are going to come through, and grab them at that time. Even if you got to run out and just hit them with a sealed swipe or whatever weapon you're using, if your Defiance stance is not up, or your shield rush.
So we like to keep the tank in the center here. I usually go over to the right-hand side, being the main healer, and then everybody else on the left side, completely opposite sides of the tank. So that way, if one of the ads squeaks out, the tank comes coming for the healer. The tank has plenty of time to get it. If they drop down a bone on the healer, we swap sides.
So at least for
Go ahead, Dixon.
So at least for phase 1, there's going to be bones that get dropped around. The DPS needs to take those bones out because that's what spawns the ads. Phase 2, ignore the bones and focus the boss.
Very, very good point. It's important to get this guy dead as quickly as possible because it's a game of attrition. As those jumps, he's putting damage on people. You want to mitigate that as much as possible, and the only way to mitigate it is to kill him dead. During this fight, you will probably hear Dumma call, shift sides or switch sides. That means that he's got a bone that's been thrown over to his side, and we need a reverse so he doesn't get killed. Everybody, do me a favor really quickly. Make sure that all of your gear is repaired and that you're good to go.
Eat up. Oil up.
Yep. Eat your food. I think I'm going to save my oil for phase 2. No, you know what? I take the bag. I'm going to oil up now, and then when he dies, I'm going to oil up again. And I'm good to go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yes, his cape is very stiff. They put too much starch on it down at the laundromat, which is probably why he's so pissed off.
Don't forget about staying out of the laser areas here, too.
Yeah, do not get your back up against those. You will die, and if you die, you cannot come back into the fight. So, don't do it. And if you have the quest and you die, you will not get the quest item, and you won't be able to redeem the quest. So, Don't get pushed out those lasers. Get a bone up, working it. These bones bug a little bit sometimes, depending on what angle they're at. If shooting at the top of it doesn't work, try shooting at the base of it, and usually you'll be able to find the sweet. Guns down. Bone up.
And for you tanks in the middle here, you can dodge almost every one of his attacks, which really helps out the healers, and they pretty much become another DPS.
That's true. Yeah, you notice when he hauls back with that big swing, he telegraphs the beeves out of it, right? It's no secret that he's about to throw a big shot. He's really slow. Switch. I got in his way because I tried to cut across the middle like a dumb head. Anyway, he's really slow, and tanks should be able to see those coming from a mile away. Dodge.
Good for the main healer to use the heavy attack. That way you keep the fortifies up.
Now I'm going to reapply my oils because phase 2 is pretty long.
So when the boss jumps, he's going to jump like 5 times. And wherever he lands is going to send out a shockwave.
Yep, like this.
And you those shockwaves, if you're rolling, will not stun you and will not cause damage.
And there's 5 of them total.
Getting ready to do his 5th. Spread out, and he'll jump back to the center. You know what? Oh, I'd love to be able to push him back into his own lasers. So he's chucked out a couple of bones. Again, we're going to ignore those.
He's jumping.
Yep. When he starts his jump, you'll also notice there's kind of like range rings on the ground. Further out those range rings you are, the less you get messed up. And you'll be able to see, watching my video, that I start skipping while he's in the air. And that reduces my chances of getting hit by him. Strange that he didn't jump to the center this time, but I'm not going to complain.
Jumping.
Got him! Oh, cut a little bit of the shockwave there, but I'm good. And you see Andros pulling him back to the center as much as he can.
Jumping.
Yeah, he jumped really quickly that time. I think one thing that's really important to keep in mind is that no strategy is perfect. We've got this fight down to just about a science, but you need to be paying attention. Don't get complacent, because if you make a mistake, it can cost you.
Jumping.
Dumb is all ice blocked up there. Big heal coming in, Drosa.
Thank you.
3277 on that, I believe.
Jumping.
Hit me, but I'm good.
Blocking.
Good. About 2%, guys.
Jumping.
Jumping.
Good.
Nice
Kill.
job.
So that's Starstone Barrows. Again, if you've got good heals and people are paying attention with, the most dangerous part of the thing is the stupid laser room. That's that. I hope it helps. Of course, if you have any questions, hit us up. Great day, night.